Hello, hi everybody. It's Candace Wims here with Irby Education, and I wanted to do a read aloud with you and my son, Jalen. He's 10 years old, and so the book is called Race Cars. We talked about this in our live that we have for Black Literacy on Trend, but it's a children's book about white privilege by Jenny Devenny. It's about two cars, Chase, who's the black car, Ace, who's the white car, and they are in a race, and there are some unfair rules that keep happening that stops Chase from winning the race. So I wanted to do the read aloud while you guys are here and read it with my son because it's age appropriate, and it's time to start having those hard and tough discussions about race and anti-racism and the Black Lives Matter with your children. So this is Chase. Chase is a black race car. This is Ace. Ace is a white race car. I'm going to show you guys the pictures, okay? They live in a world with lots of other race cars, big ones, small ones, short ones, tall ones, old ones, new ones, black ones, blue ones, pink ones, white ones, wrong ones, right ones. Chase and Ace have been best friends forever. For as long as they can remember, they have been training together for the world-famous annual race car race. Last year, they were finally old enough to enter the race. So Chase and Ace. For as long as anyone could remember, every year when the big race came around, a white car would win the race. A white car would win fourth place, third place, second place, and the most important of all, first place until last year. Last year, Chase won the race. Last year, Chase won first place. Ace won fourth place. Sometimes competition can come between friends, but not for these two. Ace was so happy for Chase, and Chase was so happy for Ace. They loved to race and did not care about place. And so it's important to have like discussion during this book. So when they say that Chase and Ace, they were best friends, right? Chase is which car?
The black one.
The black car. And which car is Ace?
The white one.
The white car. And so when they say that they did not care about place, what do you think that means?
They didn't care about they didn't care about like the race. They didn't want anything to come between the friendship.
Right. So there were, however, some cars that did not care about that did care about place. So these cars care about place. These cars were on the race committee. No one had ever seen them, but everyone knew who they were. They held all the power in the world and made all the rules for the annual race car race. Rumor has it, the members of the race committee were all white cars. When the committee heard about Chase winning, they were not happy. As long as the white cars kept winning the race, the members could keep their space on the committee. If other cars started to win, who knows what would happen? They were worried. So here's the white car committee, and they make all the rules and the decisions on who wins the races. How could this have happened? They roared. White cars have the fastest tires and the most powerful engines. How could a black car have won first place? This is a disgrace. The committee decided to change a few rules to make it easier for the white cars to win and harder for all the other cars to win. What do you think about that?
Not fair.
It's not fair, right? So watch what happens. Next year rolled around and Chase and Ace were ready to race again. They had spent all summer training and knew the route by heart. So now they're training for the race. Once around the track, so they show you how they are training, straight through the cornfield, over the Blue Mountain, through the magical forest. So look how hard Chase is practicing for this race. He's working real hard. Across the bridge and over the finish line. Race day came. Oh, now it's race day. Chase started off faster than ever. He zipped around the track as the crowds cheered him on. Then he shot through the cornfields in record time. He made it up the Blue Mountain in the blink of an eye. He wove through the trees in the magical forest. So how do you think Chase is performing right now?
Good.
He's performing good, right? But what did the white car committee do? What did they do?
They made an offer to the black cars, so they
So they made some rules that weren't fair, right? Because who did they really want to win these races?
The white cars.
The white cars. Why do you think that they want the white cars to win the races? Remember what the story said. So guys, as I'm reading, I guide comprehension. So this is important for us to do. So my question was, why do the white car committee want the white cars to win? And it said in the story that as long as the white cars kept winning the race, the members could keep their space on the committee. So they want to keep their jobs and they want to stay in power. The committee want to stay in power, and they feel like they won't stay in power if the white cars don't keep winning. So let's find out what happens with Chase. Oh my goodness. Remember, Chase is doing well in the race. And look at that. There's a sign. Can you read that sign? It says bridge is for white cars only. So watch this. Chase was getting ready to cross the bridge when he noticed a sign that had not been there before. Bridge is for white cars only. All other cars must go around the river. Chase paused for a second. That's strange, he thought, but he did not want to waste any more time. Chase sped around the river as fast as he could and jumped over the finish line. Even without taking the bridge, Chase managed to come in second place. Ace came in third place. Ace was so happy for Chase, and Chase was so happy for Ace. They loved to race and did not care about place. So what do you think about this sign, Jalen? Bridge is for white cars only. Who created that sign?
The chief master of the white cars.
The white car committee, yep. And so, what do you think about Chase still at least getting second place?
It's still good.
So, why do you think he ended up not getting first place?
Because he had to
go around the river. I know, right? So look at this, guys. Back at home, this is the important part. Back at home, something was bothering Chase. Remember, Chase is the black car. It just did not seem fair that the bridge was for whites only. It took twice as long to go around the river. He reminded himself that he just loved racing and that it didn't really matter whether he won or not. But he could not help feeling like he was not as good as the other cars. Was something wrong with him? He shrugged it off and decided to train even harder for next year. Back at Ace's house, Ace was snuggled up in bed smiling. He loved to race and did not care about place, but oh boy, did it feel good to win a bronze medal this year. He drifted off to sleep dreaming of next year's race car race. When the committee heard about Chase winning second place, they were not happy. How could a black car have won second place? This is a disgrace. The committee decided to change a few more rules to make it easier for the white cars to win and harder for all the other cars to win. What do you think about that? That they're going to make it even harder now?
Now Chase is probably going to get in third place.
So now Chase is probably going to get in third place. So watch this. The next year rolled around and Chase and Ace were ready to race. Chase started off faster than ever. He zipped around the track as the crowds cheered him on. Then he shot through the cornfields in record time. He made it up Blue Mountain in the blink of an eye. So Chase is still taking off and he is still ready to go. But remember what the white car committee did, right? Chase was heading for the magical forest when he noticed something he had never seen before. A forked road with a new sign. Whites stay to the left and all other cars stay to the right. Chase paused for a second. That's strange, he thought, but he did not want to waste any more time. So the sign says white cars and all other cars. But what do you notice about the white car sign? It's straight, right? But if you are a different color car, you got to go through that maze. He sped off into the magical forest faster and faster until he realized that he was lost. That house wasn't there before, and neither was that owl. Excuse me, Mr. Owl, I seem to be lost. Could you tell me how to get out this forest? Why, of course, follow me. The wise, friendly owl led Chase right through the woods and sent him on his way. Chase sped around the river as fast as he could and jumped over the finish line. Even though he got lost in the magical forest, he could not take the bridge. Chase managed to come in third place. Ace came in second place. Ace was so happy for Chase, and Chase was happy for Ace. They loved to race and did not care about place. So what do you think about that, Jalen, that now Chase is in third place now? He used to be in first place. How do you think that makes Chase feel?
I wouldn't say outsider because he has other black cars too.
Speak up.
I wouldn't say he's an outsider because he has other black cars too. But that's kind of mean.
So why do you think Chase haven't said anything yet to anybody about why is it that they have these signs and I'm a black car and I have to go through all of this, but all the other cars, the white cars, they don't have to? Why do you think Chase didn't maybe stand up for himself or have any courage yet?
Probably because he didn't want to have the other committee mad at him or something.
So he didn't want to make anybody upset, right? And sometimes we have to speak up, although it make other people uncomfortable. And this is what this is about. So back at home, something was bothering Chase. He reminded himself that he just loved racing and that it didn't really matter whether he won or not. But he could not help feeling like he was not as good as the other cars. Was something wrong with him? Why did he get lost and not Ace? He shrugged it off and decided to train even harder for next year. So, is something wrong with Chase? No, it's not, right? But he have to, what Chase is doing is he's sitting back and he's reflecting and he's thinking about how he's not being treated fairly. But he's still not saying anything. Back at Ace's house, Ace was snuggled up in bed smiling. He loved to race and did not care about place, but oh boy, did it feel good to win a silver medal this year. Ace did not expect to be faster than Chase. In all their practices, Chase was always faster than Ace. I must be getting much faster, thought Ace. And something must be wrong with Chase. He shrugged his shoulders and drifted off to sleep, dreaming of next year's race car race. So what do you think about that, Jalen? He said, Ace thinks he's getting faster. And then he said, man, there must be something wrong with Chase. What do you think about that?
Maybe the friendship is probably gonna, because him saying that, like, the way he said it is like, the friendship is probably not gonna be, well, I don't know.
So when you say that their friendship, because remember they kept saying that they love to race, they don't care about place, but do you think place is mattering now to them?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, right? So when the committee heard about Chase winning third place, they were still not happy. How could a black car have won third place? This is a disgrace. The committee decided to change even more rules to make it easier for the white cars to win the race, just in case. So remember that the white car committee, they want white cars to be first, second, third, and fourth place, right? So watch this. The next year rolled around and Chase and Ace were ready to race. Chase started off faster than ever. He zipped around the track as the crowds cheered him on. Then he shot through the cornfields in record time. He made it up Blue Mountain in the blink of an eye. So what do you notice about Chase's attitude about the race?
It's getting very strong now. Like he's starting to
Speak up.
He's starting to persevere more.
He's starting to persevere, right? So despite him losing, he still keep going, right? But at the top of Blue Mountain, a race officer stopped him. Uh-oh. Pull over, please. I need to see some identification. Chase paused for a second. That's strange, he thought. None of the white cars seemed to be getting stopped. But he did not want to waste any more time. He showed the officer his identification and continued on his way. He sped off towards the magical forest. When Chase got to the forked road in the forest, Mr. Owl was there waiting for him to show him the way out. The wise, friendly owl led Chase right through the woods and sent him on his way. Chase sped around the river as fast as he could and jumped over the finish line. But because that race officer stopped him, Chase did not get fourth place, or third place, or second, and Ace came in first place. Chase was happy for Ace, but they were both upset about Chase's race. So they said that both of them was upset. So what do you think Ace would be upset about with Chase, about his race?
Ace will be sad about Chase?
Yeah, so they said that they both were upset about Chase losing. Why do you think Ace is upset about Chase losing?
Because he didn't want his friend to he thought it wasn't fair for his friend not to just continue on the race and keep on getting stopped and stuff.
But have Ace said anything yet?
Ace? No.
He hasn't spoken up. So I want you to realize that in this story, neither car is speaking up. Chase isn't speaking up about being treated unfairly, and Ace, he's not speaking up about Chase being treated unfairly, right? They loved to race and did not care about place, but the committee had just announced a new rule. Cars that did not place this year could no longer race next year. So that meant that if you didn't get fourth place, third, second, or first, you couldn't race no more. And guess what? Chase didn't make it, right? So next year, Chase would not be allowed to race. Wow. How do you think that makes Chase feel, though? Right? All of this time, he's been working so hard. Back at home, Chase was devastated. He did not care about place, but he loved to race. What would he do now? Chase could not help but feeling like he was not as good as the other cars. Something was definitely wrong with him. Why else would he not be allowed to race? That night, Chase cried himself into a long, deep sleep. So for the very first time, Chase, he didn't shrug it off this time, but he's sad, right? But back at Ace's house, Ace was snuggled up in bed. He loved to race and did not care about place, but oh boy, did it feel good to win a gold medal this year. But something did not feel quite right. He did not understand why Chase did not place. He is the fastest car I know, thought Ace. Next year would not be the same without his best friend. Chase was the reason that Ace liked to race in the first place. Ace sighed. He shrugged his shoulders and drifted off into a long, deep sleep. So this is the very first time that Ace is starting to think about what's going on. But has he spoken up about it yet? Why do you think he hasn't said anything yet?
Because he doesn't want his white car committee to be mad at him.
Right. So this is what we call privilege, white privilege. And what it is basically sometimes when people are being treated like where they have more favoritism, they don't want to say anything and they don't want to complain because they want to keep winning. Because he likes winning, right? And he knows that maybe if he says something, he might not get those privileges anymore of winning. So now he's kind of conflicted between, I feel bad for my friend, but man, like I love winning these medals. So let's see what Ace is going to decide to do. Next year rolled around and Chase was at the race to cheer his best friend on. So that says a lot about Chase, right? He's not able to race, but he's still there to support his friend. Ace started off faster than ever. He zipped around the track as the crowds cheered him on. Then he shot through the cornfields in record time. He made it up Blue Mountain in the blink of an eye. So now look at Ace taking off now. And poor Chase cannot even race. Ace was heading for the magical forest when something made him pause. He had seen this sign before, but never thought about it too much. So he saw this sign that says white cars and all other cars. This year, Ace wanted to know what was down the right path. So now Ace is like, what is down this path that says all other cars? Ace sped off into the magical forest, faster and faster until he realized now that he was lost. So now Ace decided to go down that path. Why do you think Ace made that decision to go where it says all other cars? Because he a white car. He could keep going the easy route. Why do you think he decided to go around that way?
Because he wanted to see what black and other cars had to go through.
Yes. So what I like is that he's starting to show a sign of trying to maybe see from the black car perspective, right? Like, what is it like for them? So now he's going through it. Back at the track, the race officials were starting to get worried. What do you think they worried about? All of the other cars had finished the race except for Ace. Where could he have been? The race officers looked everywhere but could not find Ace. The officials called the committee, and the committee decided to hold a meeting to figure out the best way to find Ace. What would be the best way to find Ace? Who's the fastest car? Right? So they decided the best way to find Ace, we need the very fastest car, said one. The very fastest race car would surely find Ace, said another. They were all in agreement. But the fastest race car is really Chase. Even though we did not let him race, added one member, if we choose Chase, the world will know that we rigged the race. Oh, so now they have a dilemma. That the fastest car have always been Chase, and they know it. They know Chase is the better car. But if they choose Chase to find Ace, then everybody's going to know that they've been cheating this whole time. The committee was reluctant, but agreed they must save Ace. Take down those signs. This is a special case. We must let Chase race at his fastest pace. So for the first time, they're allowing Chase to race. Chase was nervous at first. He was not sure that he was as fast as he was once, but he quickly agreed to save his best friend. Here I come, Ace, said Chase. He zipped around the track as the crowds cheered him on. Then he shot through the cornfields in record time. He made it up Blue Mountain in the blink of an eye. Because now Chase don't have to worry about no signs. When he got to the magical forest, Mr. Owl was there waiting to lead him to Ace. I'm sorry it took so long for me to realize how much harder it was for you to win this race, Chase, said Ace. So now Ace is telling Chase, now I realize like how bad it was for you. Why is it that Ace understand how Chase felt now?
Because he actually did the stuff that Chase had to do. The friends embraced. Then together, Chase and Ace finished the race. Across the bridge and over the finish line, the friends had finished in record time. And I want you to look at the picture. Who's still in first place? Now that they have an understanding, and now that Ace was able to show empathy, right, for Chase, it shows how their friendship has changed. The committee decided to give Chase the gold medal this year. Ace was so happy for Chase, and Chase was so happy for Ace. Chase did not care about place, but oh boy, did it feel good to finally win that race. The end. So, parents, educators, there is a whole entire discussion where you can ask some questions and talk about like the different themes and obvious topics in the book. But I was stopping throughout the story because this is something that you can do. You don't have to wait until you finish reading the whole book to start having some discussion questions, but you can ask questions as you're reading. So here are a couple questions that they have. What color cars usually win the race? Black ones.
Okay, so you said the black ones usually win the race. So they would win the race if the white committee allowed them to, right? But the white cars would normally win the race. What do you think it was like for Chase to be the first black car to win the race? What do you think that was like for him?
Probably surprising or stunned.
He was stunned or surprised. So here's a text to self-connection. Can you think of somebody who is a African American who was the first to do something they feel proud of themselves? Mm-hmm. Who was the first to do something really big and they were proud of themselves?
There's a lot.
It is a lot.
There's an astronaut that I forgot her name though.
Mae Jemison.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yep. Her. What about President Obama?
Yep.
He was the first African American president. It's so many first timers, and I'm pretty sure that they feel great. What do you think some other reactions to him winning might have been? So, other than the white car committee being upset that he was winning, how do you think the other black cars felt about him winning?
Say the question again.
So they were asking about how, what do you think some other reactions to him winning might have been? So we know that the white cars were mad that he was winning, but how do you think the black cars felt about Chase winning?
Proud.
They feel proud of him, right? Just like how we feel proud when we see African Americans doing great things. Like, I feel proud of you, right? When you're getting straight A's, how you came into the advanced math class, right? How you persevere and you, keep pushing through. So overall, guys, this is a great book, and there's so many more discussion questions. I got this from Amazon, and I think that you guys should definitely check it out. Thank you for joining in on our Read Aloud with my son and I. And Jalen, what do you think about the book overall?
It was good.
It was good. Okay, so what can you take away from the book? Like, what are some main takeaways, like, or lessons, or just what are your thoughts other than it was good?
I, like you said, like in the beginning, I already knew it was gonna like, I was thinking of the civil rights and stuff.
Speak up
like
a little
that.
bit. You speak up, so I'm gonna make sure I can hear you.
I was thinking about the civil rights that were placed back in the 60s and stuff. And that was like a text-to-text, not text-to-text, but text-to-self connect. Well, not text-to-self.
Well, text to world.
Yeah, text-to-world connection.
Yeah. So how is this similar to the civil rights?
So black cars, they didn't have as much opportunities. Well, black cars, I meant black African Americans didn't have as much opportunities as the white people.
Correct. Yeah. Now, what about what's going on right now with Black Lives Matter? With Black Lives Matter and white privilege. And white privilege is basically white people having entitlements and opportunities and chances to pretty much progress, although that they don't always deserve it, So basically, like how they were making sure that the race was rigged so Ace can win, right? So what do you think about white privilege, just in general? What do you think about that?
Now?
Yeah.
So with George Floyd and stuff and all the riots that's been happening, it's pretty bad now, like really bad, and I don't want like me to feel like that, just because, like, and other children too, to just feel bad about themselves because they're black. And then that story kind of related, but it was in a car form.
It was in a car form, yeah. And so overall, I think that it's important that you and I read this. I read this book to you, and that, we also share it. And this is why I'm recording, because I feel like this is a conversation that parents can have and teachers can have. Because, sometimes, even let's say if I was a white teacher and I had a lot of black students, I need my students to know, although I'm white, that I'm here with you, that I'm not using privilege, or I don't look at white privilege as something that's okay. I think that everybody should be treated fairly and they should be treated equally. So I just really hope that we can all come together, black, white, rich, poor, whatever, and just to be able to make the world a better place by, being fair to each other instead of using privileges to get ahead. Okay. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in again. Okay. You guys have a good one, and check out the book Race Cars. Okay.